Namaste. Namaste, friends. This is going to be a 60-minute yoga flow class with an emphasis on alignment. And we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So most of us don't sit comfortably on the floor. So if you need a pillow or a few stacked towels to sit on, we're going to start seated. Again, find a comfortable seat, which might mean putting your bottom on something. So if you have bolsters or blocks or books or towels or blankets, whatever you've got, so you feel like you can sit for a moment. And let the spine be tall, lift through the crown of the head. And just take a deep full breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. And notice I am here. One more time like that, deep full breath in through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh it out. And then see if you can shift your breath just in and out your nose. So you're going to do the best you can to breathe in and out your nose. Lengthen and deepen the breath the best you can. And we call this J.O.Y breath. Long, deep, smooth, even rhythmic breaths in and out your nose. And then we're going to move into alternate nostril breathing. So let your next exhale be complete. And then just close off your left nostril with your fingertip. And let your next inhale be just through your right nostril. So see if we can inhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to close off our right nostril, open our left, and we're going to exhale out through the left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through that open nostril, left nostril for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off the left nostril, open the right. Exhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale through the right for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off the right, open the left. Exhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale through the left for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the right, close the left, and exhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to continue on our own. So if you can steadily make the breath longer without straining, you do. If you need to make it shorter, you do. You inhale through one side. Close off the nostril, open the other, and exhale out the other side. Slow, steady, smooth breath as long as you can without straining. And then when you're ready, you inhale through one side. Close off that nostril, open the other, and exhale through the other side. Slow, steady, as long of a breath as you can make now, this moment, without straining. Again, inhale through one side. And if it's doable, you can even pause at the top. Pause full, close off that nostril, open the other, and exhale. And it's totally okay if you're not with me. Go at your own rhythm, your own pace. Make your breath as deep and long as you can. Alternate nostril breathing. So again, we inhale through one side. Long, steady, full breath in. Maybe we pause full if it doesn't cause strain or tension. We close off that nostril. We open the other, and slow and steady exhale. And maybe we even pause at the end of the exhale when we're empty for a moment, as long as it doesn't cause tension. And on your own, you guys alternate nostril breathing a few more cycles. So you're inhaling through one side. Maybe you pause full. And you exhale out the other. Two more full rounds of alternate nostril breathing. In one side, out the other. In one side, out the other, on your own rhythm. And then final cycle, you guys, in the right, out the left, in the left, out the right. Take your time. We may all finish at different rhythms or paces. And when you're done with that final cycle, no hurry. Just let your arms rest by your side and allow your breath to be deep, full, and natural. So don't manipulate the breath. Once you finish that last cycle, don't manipulate the breath. Just simply observe the breath as it is. Watch as the breath comes in. And watch as the breath goes out. Again, without lengthening, without deepening, just observe the natural ebb and flow of your breath in this moment. Allowing it to be as it is without manipulation. And then let's make our way onto all fours. So we're gonna hop on our mat if we're not already there. Spread your fingers, take your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. And let's shift back into Ujjayi breath, so back into nostril breathing. And we're gonna move the breath and the movement together. So on an inhale, lift your chest and tail. And on an exhale, round your spine. Deep, full breaths in and out the nose. Breathing in, chest and tail lift. And breathing out, round your spine. So again, move with the rhythm of your breath, not mine. You inhale to move. Let your movement follow your breath. And you exhale to move. A few more, back and forth, in and out the nose. Long, deep, full, steady breaths. And if you can cultivate those little pauses, this is a little more intermediate advanced, but play with it. So you're gonna inhale, 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 and when you're full of breath, you're gonna pause, just for a second. And then you're gonna exhale completely. Feel the end of the exhale, feel the belly lift to the spine, and feel the pause. Feel empty of breath, feel a pause. And again, you guys, if this causes tension, skip the pauses. A few more cat-cows, back and forth. Possibly pausing when you're full. Feel that moment of fullness with the breath. And possibly pausing at the end of the exhale, feeling the emptiness without breath. Stay soft. And then one more, inhale, chest pulls forward. Staying here, let's tuck our toes and make our way into downward facing dog. So you want to be a triangle. You want your sit bones to be the apex of the triangle. So some of us, if that's tough, we're going to need to bend the knees and maybe widen the feet in order to really lift the hips up. And we'll take 5 full breaths in downward dog. Feel the steadiness, the fluidness in the breath. And try to cultivate those pauses here. Really spread your hands, you guys, and try to weight bear on the whole hand. So try to get the thumb and first finger pressing into the mat. And as you get the thumb and first finger pressing into the mat, sometimes the shoulders like to roll forward. So feel the idea of upper arm bones rolling away from the midline. So your chest is wide, your wrists are relaxed, your neck has space. And 2 more deep, full breaths in your downward dog. And then on your next inhale, we're gonna shift forward into a plank position. So into a push-up. And if you guys, if this is too much for you today, drop your knees and go back to what we did earlier, cat-cow. And then on an exhale, we're gonna pike back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, pike back, lifting the sit bones. Downward facing dog. So again, you're gonna find your rhythm, back and forth with breath. Feel the steady, full breath take you to plank and maybe pause full. And feel the steady, lengthened exhale take you back to downward dog. Try to complete the exhale, feel the end of the exhale and pause. Empty. 2, 3 more. Again, if this is too much today, drop your knees and do cat-cow. And the next time we come to plank, we pause. And if plank is too much, you guys simply put your knees on the mat. So if your knees are on the mat, you're still in a plank. I still have a straight line from my head through my shoulders, through my hips, through my knees. Notice the quality of your breath. Continue to lengthen and deepen your breath here. And then on your next exhale, lower the elbows or bend the elbows halfway down till you're in chaturanga. So ideally my elbows are still over my wrists and I'm still in a plank, whether my knees are lifted or down. Soften something, feel the steadiness and fullness in the breath. And then make your way all the way onto your belly. So ground the top of the feet, you guys, and move the hands back so they're underneath the elbows. And let's go into cobra. Inhale, pull your chest forward and up. And exhale, roll back down. Link your breath and movement together. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, roll down. So you guys, utilize the depth and fullness in the breath that we started with. Like there's a reason I start my classes with 10 minutes of breathing. Can you feel the inhale, open your chest, maybe paws opened. And then as you exhale and roll the chest down, feel the navel lift and feel the tailbone lengthen. So you're stable in the pelvis. Again, inhale, pull your chest forward and up. And exhale, roll back down, feel the belly lift. Inhale, pull forward and up. And exhale, roll down, feel the belly lift, the tailbone long. So we're not bending the lower back, you guys. We're bending from the middle back, the thoracic spine. Breathing in, maybe feel the pause at the top. And breathing out, lower down, feel the belly lift, feel the end of the exhale, the navel pull to the spine. 2 more here with your breath. Traction your spine, pull forward, creating space. Belly to spine with your exhale. And final one. Find your cobra. So how high can you lift your chest, you guys, without compromising the lower back? Keep the belly button lifted and the pubic bone pulling into the floor. And then if you can, take your arms out to the side like airplane wings. And if you can, reach the hands behind you and interlace. And if you can't grab your hands here, you guys get creative. You can hold on to a yoga strap. You can hold on to a blanket so your hands are wider apart and you can still get that stretching and opening in the chest. Few deep, full breaths here. Keep pulling your chest forward and your knuckles back. Keep the top of the feet on the mat and keep the belly lifted so the tailbone's long. 3 deep, full breaths. Feel the belly lift with the exhale.
One more full breath. And release. Ground your hands and press back into a child's pose, rounding your spine. Let your head rest completely on the mat, and if it doesn't reach, feel free to cross your forearms, rest your head here. And feel the quality of the breath here, you guys. Feel the fullness and depth in the breath. So as you inhale, the belly expands, the side body expands, the back body expands. Like you're a balloon blowing up, so full, right before you pop and then you pause. And allow your exhales to be complete. So when you think you're done exhaling, consider exhaling for a few more seconds until you're completely empty. And then one more deep breath here in this child's pose, in this rest position. And stay in child's pose. Reach your arms forward to extended child's pose. So take your hands about shoulder width apart. Ground the palms and lift the forearms. So the arms are very active. You're going to be pushing into your hands and trying to sit your hips back towards your heels. And let's take 5 breaths in extended child's pose. And again, you guys, feel the work in the hands. So feel that you're pressing the first finger and thumb into the mat. That part of the hand tends to pop off the mat. So you're pushing down into the first finger and thumb, and you're kind of squeezing the forearms in towards the middle to keep the first finger and thumb grounded. And if we just do that, what happens is the shoulders round forward. So can you take the upper arm bones and roll them away from the middle as you keep the first finger and thumb planted? How's the quality of your breath? Can you take 2 more full breaths here? And then make your way to downward dog. So keep this work in the arms. And again, child's pose is there anytime you need it. So you guys will work as hard as you can in the postures, and if you feel like you're compromising the quality of breath, just drop your knees and rest in child's pose or any other comfortable rest position. And feel that same work in the arms here, you guys. So you're feeling the thumb and first finger press, and you're feeling the upper arm bones spin away from the middle. Try to flatten the back and lift the sit bones up, which might mean you bend the knees a little bit. And let's take 3 more full deep breaths in downward dog. And then 1 more breath here. And then on your next inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. And on the exhale, you're going to step your foot all the way up between your hands. And the back heel is going to spin flat at about a 45-degree angle. So I've got my back foot sealed onto the mat. I'm trying to pull my left hip forward, my right hip in and back, so my hips are level or square. And then on an inhale, I'm going to come on up into warrior 1. And I'm going to take 5 full breaths here. So I'm bending my front knee as deep as I can manage. If I can get it over my knee over my ankle, I'm going to try. And I'm trying to level my hips. So in warrior 1, I'm trying to pull my outer left hip forward, drop my right hip down and back. So I'm trying to pull my hips to face forward, and trying is the key word. You're just going to do the best you can. 1 more full breath here. And then on an exhale, take your hands to the mat, lift your back toes, and step back into a plank. And if we need to modify, you guys simply put the knees on the mat. Take a breath in, and exhale, bend the elbows to chaturanga. So my elbows are over my wrists. I'm not back here. I'm forward. Come to the top of your feet or lie on your belly. Inhale to upward dog, or I do my previous cobra with my belly on the mat, a little bit more doable for a lot of us. And exhale to downward facing dog. 3 deep full breaths here. Again, if you need a break, drop your knees, rest in child's pose at any point in time. So you guys, yoga is a practice of self-care. Fitness is a byproduct. So the strengthening and stretching comes after the self-care. The self-care is paying attention to my breath and only moving as much as I can without straining in my breath. On an inhale, lift your left leg up. And on an exhale, step your foot all the way up between your hands. Spin the back heel flat at about a 30-45 degree angle. Pause here, try to square your hips. So hug that left hip in and back and roll the outer right hip forward. And then on an inhale, reach up, warrior one. And we'll take 5 breaths here. So again, I'm trying to pull my left hip back and drop it to the floor. I'm bending my front knee as deep as I can manage, and I'm trying to lift my pelvis up away from my front thigh. Notice the quality of your breath. And just move as far into the shape as you guys can today, you guys, without compromising the breath. One more deep breath here. And hands come down. Step to plank. Take an inhale through your nose. Remember that long, deep, smooth breath. Exhale, bend the elbows lower, halfway down, pause. Inhale to cobra or upward dog. Pause. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pause. 3 deep, full breaths here. Feel the upper arms spin away from the middle. Allow the head and neck to release. 2 more full breaths. Again, if you need a break, drop your knees at any point in time, take a break. So we're gonna flow a little bit. These are kind of big shapes, so do the best you can. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Feel the pause. Exhale, step the foot forward, back heel flat. Pause. Inhale, come on up, warrior one. Feel full. Exhale, hands come down, step to plank. Keep exhaling to downward dog and pause. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward, back heel flat. Finish the exhale, pause. Inhale, come on up, warrior one. Big inhale, try to smooth the breath out. It's hard with these big movements, you guys. Exhale, hands come down, step to plank. Keep exhaling, downward dog, and pause. 3 deep breaths. If you need a child's pose, take it. Two deep, full breaths. One more full breath. Steady the breath. Often when we move quickly like that, the breath gets a little erratic. And we're going to do another cycle like that. Right leg, inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step the foot forward, put the back heel flat. Finish the exhale. Inhale up, warrior one. Lift the pelvis away from your front thigh. Exhale, hands come down, step to plank. Keep exhaling, downward facing dog. Finish the exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step your foot forward, back heel flat. Finish the exhale. Inhale up, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, step to plank. Still exhaling, downward dog. Take 3 deep, full breaths here. Feel the first finger and thumb press, and feel the upper arms spin away from the middle so the upper back broadens. 1 more full breath in downward dog. And we have 1 more cycle, you guys. Hang in there, do what you can. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward, back heel flat. Inhale, come on up, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Keep exhaling, step to plank. Keep exhaling, downward facing dog. Finish that exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step your foot forward, back heel flat. Inhale, warrior one. Peel the pelvis away from that front thigh. Exhale, hands come down, step to plank. Keep exhaling, downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. If you need a break, drop your knees and rest. And then one more full breath here. Bend your knees a lot. Look towards your hands, and you're gonna either step or jump yourself up to the front of your mat. Feet can be together or hip width. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. So a lot of options with the arms, you guys. It just depends where you can reach. They can be on the floor. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. A lot of us will not reach the floor. And exhale, folds. Moving with breath. Inhale, hands can be on the shins, not the knees, but the shins. And exhale, fold. Or if you happen to have blocks, feel free to use those. Breathing in. And breathing out. So that same fluid, calm breath we started with, you guys find it now while you're efforting. Inhale, lengthen the spine, shoulders pull down your back. And exhale, folds. One more, inhale, lengthen the spine and pause. So a lot of us have the weight too far back. Can you feel, you might need to bend your knees a little bit. Can you feel that you're standing on your toes as much as your heels? And can you feel that you're not crunching the neck? So a lot of us lift the neck too much. Probably look down with your eyes. Pull the shoulders down your back and pull a charm on a necklace forward to your chin. So it's the spine getting long, not the neck crunching. One more full breath in this flat back. Hands on your hips. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Take a full breath here, you guys. We call this Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, moving with breath. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And exhale, fold your body in half. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend your knees and step back to plank. Remember, you can always put your knees on the mat for plank. Take an extra inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows lower halfway down or lie all the way onto your belly. I have a 90-degree angle with my arms. My shoulders are lifted. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a few deep full breaths in downward dog. If you need a child's pose, you guys feel free. Let your practice be about the quality of breath. So as hard as you're working in the body, you guys find that quality of breath. Find the long, deep, smooth, rhythmic breath. So there's a sense of comfort and ease that comes with the breath, no matter how hard you're working in the body. Final breath in downward dog. And then on your next inhale, lift your right leg up. And exhale, step the foot all the way forward. Back heel will spin flat. Inhale, come on up, warrior one. And this time we're gonna open the hips and chest to the side, warrior two. So I'm trying to turn my hips and chest to face the side. Again, trying is the key word. You guys just do what you can. Bend your front knee and try to get your front knee over your ankle. Arms can reach. And I'm gonna look at you guys just for fun. I'm actually looking at me. I prefer to look at you. But traditionally in warrior two, if it's comfortable, you're gonna gaze out over the front hand and just kind of stare at your middle finger. So be mindful of your front leg, you guys. So what happens as we bend that front knee is that front knee likes to sneak in. So push the front inner knee to the outer knee and hug that front outer hip in to the midline. So if you look at the floor, you want to see your big toe on the inside of your knee. And that's going to put the work into the hips, protect the knee, and stretch the groin. 2 more breaths. If you need a break, you simply straighten your leg and come back when you're ready. Let's all do that together. How about that? Inhale, straighten your front leg. And exhale, bend. Inhale to extend. And exhale, bend. So move with your breath. You guys don't have to be with me. Full deep breath in through your nose. Maybe pause at the top. Long lengthened exhale. And maybe pause at the bottom. 3 more. Link your breath and movement together. And choose a range of motion that is challenging but not overwhelming. And then 2 more. And the next time you're in warrior 2 with a bent knee, you pause. Reach back just as much with the back arm. We tend to be here. So imagine I've got your back hand and I'm pulling you back. So again, you're trying to stack your shoulders over your hips. Reach your arms out in front of you. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. And put your left arm underneath your right. And we're gonna try to either take the back of the hands together, or if they can interlace all the way, you're gonna do that. Again, it doesn't matter, just do what you can. Keep bending in the front knee unless you need a break. And then you straighten the front leg. Feel the elbows lift, you guys, and the shoulders drop. Notice the quality of the breath. Continue to lengthen and deepen your breath. Feel the forearms pull forward and the upper ribs pull in and back. You have 5 breaths. Look at me take a break. You're still in warrior 2 while we talk about your arms. So again, elbows going up and shoulders going down. So the elbows go up, the shoulders go down. They're going in the opposite direction. My forearms go forward and my upper ribs and abdominals pull in and back. And in those 2 directions, up and down, forward and back, I create space. 1 more full breath, you guys. And then release your arms. Inhale, reverse warrior. Take a side stretch here. Exhale, hands come to the mat, step to plank. So you can go straight to downward dog, or if you still have some juice, bend your elbows, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward and up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Few deep breaths in downward dog. Notice the quality of your breath. And continue to lengthen and deepen your breath. And then on an inhale, lift your left leg up. And exhale, step your foot all the way between your hands, back heel spins flat. Inhale, come on up, warrior 1, so you're facing forward. And exhale, open to warrior 2. So you're facing the side. I'm gonna face you guys. You, hello. So you're gonna bend the front knee as deep as you can. Try to get the knee over the ankle. And try to pull that left hip forward and left waist forward. So ideally your torso, your chest, and your hips are facing forward. Reach evenly through 2 hands and continue to lengthen and deepen your breath here. Mindful of the alignment of the front knee. Again, because the knee likes to tend to kind of knock in. Push the front knee opened. So I have a visual, I can see my big toe on the inside of my front foot. And then on an inhale, straighten your front leg. And exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And exhale, bend your knee. So move with your breath, you guys don't have to be with me. Feel the fullness of the breath. Feel a pause when you're full. And exhale completely. And maybe even pause empty. It's harder to pause when we're working hard in the body, but I believe in you. You can do it. 2 more. Reach through your arms and soften the shoulders. Final 1. And pause in warrior 2. So a lot of us kind of end up here. Can you pull back through that back arm? Lift the pelvis, lengthen the tailbone to the floor, and then reach your arms out in front of you. So this time, you guys, it's right arm underneath left. Clasp what you can. You might just end up here, that's fine. If you can actually double interlace and grab the hands, you will. Feel the elbows lift and the shoulders drop. Feel the forearms pull forward and the upper abdominals and ribs pull in and back. 5 more breaths. If you need a break, it looks like this. I just took one. Do what you can without stressing out, right? So work as hard as you can with a calm, deep, smooth breath. 3 more deep breaths. Warrior 2. Soften something. Final breath. And then release the arms. Inhale, reverse warrior, stretch up and back. Feel that stretch in the side body. And exhale, hands come to the mat, step to plank. From here, you can go right to downward dog, or if you want to bend the elbows and lower to chaturanga, feel free. Inhale, pull forward and up. And everybody exhale, downward facing dog. If you need a child's pose, please take it, you guys. Few deep breaths here. Feel the fluidity in the breath. Feel the calmness in the breath. Again, if you need a break, take it. Work as hard as you can, calmly. And then final breath in downward dog. Bend your knees a lot. Feel more weight in the base of the fingers. It almost feels like you lift the forearms up away from the mat. Look forward. Now you can step. You guys feel free to step. If you want to hop, you're going to try to lift your tushy to the ceiling and jump to the top of your mat. And then inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Do that a few more times. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Let's bend the knees up to 90 degrees. So we're going to try to get the bottom in line with the knees. Sit your weight back in your heels a little more than you want to. And then peel your torso up to chair pose. So my thighs stay down and back. And I'm trying to peel. So a lot of us tend to arch the back here. I want you to think more of lifting the pelvis. Lift your pubic bone, your pelvis up away from your legs. 5 breaths. And you guys, anytime the arms are overhead, if we get too close, we end up with tension in the neck. So often we need to take the arms wider, spin the shoulder joint to face back so the shoulders drop and I have more space in my neck. 2 more full breaths. Final breath in chair pose. And then inhale, stand all the way up, lift your chest. And exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, chair pose, moving with breath. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, pull your chest forward. And exhale, step back to plank. Go right to a downward dog if you choose, or continue to exhale and bend your elbows. Inhale, pull forward and up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Few deep, full breaths here. If you need a child's pose, please take it. Notice the quality of your breath. And let that be the most important part of the practice. Inhale, right leg will lift. Exhale, step your foot forward. We're going to come into like a runner's lunge. So you're going to stay on the ball of your back foot. And if this is too much for anybody, you guys just simply put the back knee on the mat. You're going to plant the left hand down, and if the left hand doesn't reach the floor, you can use blocks if you have them, and or you could make books or pillows work as blocks if you need them. And then you're going to lift the right hand up and twist. So let's take a handful of breaths here. Really reach to the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades slide down your back and widen the collarbone. And in the twist, you guys, feel the quality of the breath. So feel how the inhale widens and opens the chest. Feel the end of the inhale, feel full. And then use the exhale to pull the middle in and help you spin a little bit deeper into your rotation. And it's internal, you guys. It might not be something you see or I see. It comes from the inside out, hence the breath doing the work. One more full breath in your twist. And then we're gonna make our way into a side plank. So you're gonna swivel the back foot. And I'm gonna face the other way just so you guys can see me. Let's pretend I was here. My back foot swivels. And this foot can creep in front of me and stay right here if I need it, like a kickstand. If I can step this foot back on top of the other and I'm in a side plank. If this doesn't work for me today, I can modify by putting my back knee on the mat. So you guys are on your left hand in side plank, or any modification of side plank. Right here's a modification. 3 breaths. 2 breaths, soften something, or modify, or rest. 1 more full breath. And then inhale into plank. Exhale, lower or skip it. Inhale, pull forward and up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Few deep breaths here, you guys. Let the head and neck release. Keep widening the collarbone. And if you need a child's pose at any point in time, please take it. 1 more full breath here. And then inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step your foot forward, come into a runner's lunge. So you want to stay on the ball of the back foot, and if it feels like too much today, you guys just drop the back knee to the mat. The right hand is going to stay planted, and if it's tough, you could put it on something, and you could make it up. Get creative, right? But if you can reach the floor, you're going to reach the floor. And left hand comes up, and we rotate the spine. So feel the sense of the inhales, you guys, widening your collarbone and opening your chest. And feel how the exhales pull your belly in and maybe spin you a little deeper. A few more breaths in the twist. Again, if you need to be a little more gentle, put the back knee down. So again, challenge yourself. Find flexibility. Find strength in these shapes without stressing out. So find our yoga practices here to teach us how to be in a challenging moment calmly. So please don't stress out on your yoga mat. We're going to make our way into a side plank. So you can kind of wiggle this front foot. The back foot will swivel, so I'm going to be on the outer edge of my back foot. This foot can stay in front of me here, and or I can stack my feet to make it a little harder. If you want to make it easier, put the bottom knee down. So my body is squeezed between 2 planes of glass. A lot of us tend to back bend here. Pull the ribs in, lengthen the tailbone towards your back foot or your feet, and take 3 more breaths. Feel the steadiness and fullness in the breath. Feel the calmness in the breath, you guys, we started with. 1 more breath. Smile. And then inhale into plank. Exhale, bend the elbows lower or skip it and go right to dog. Inhale, pull forward and up. And exhale, downward. Facing dog, take a deep full breath here. And just sigh it out. And everybody, let's lower our knees and come into a child's pose. Rest the forehead. And possibly ask yourself why you didn't come here earlier. A few breaths in child's pose. Truly give into gravity, truly release. Notice the quality of your breath. And notice how the mind tends to wander. Like there's a reason we do these vigorous poses. These vigorous poses help keep us present because there's so much work, right? The moment we kind of settle down and work more gently in the body, I think it's harder for the mind to stay here present with us. So let the breath be what keeps your mind here present now. And you guys can stay in child's pose as long as you want. We have a few more working poses and then we'll get to the floor. If and when you're ready, let's come to a downward dog. If you need to stay in child's pose a little longer, you guys please do. Again, yoga is a practice of self-care, so take care of yourself. Finding downward dog, if you're with me, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Bending our knees, inhale, chair pose. And we're gonna be here for a little bit, hands to prayer. And let's twist to the right. So you're gonna hook your elbow as high up towards your thigh as you can. You're gonna push your palms together and try to roll your chest open. 5 breaths. So feel a vigorous push into the hands and feel the idea of the chest opening. Kind of like cobra, like we did on our belly. The shoulder blades move into the spine. The spine swivels like a wet washcloth. 2 more deep breaths. Keep sitting back in the heels, weight back and down. Final breath. Unwind, inhale, chair pose. And exhale, second side. So you guys are gonna twist the other way. Push your palms together, roll the chest open. And take a few breaths in twisted chair. Keep dropping your hips. And again, feel how the inhale helps broaden the chest. Feel full. And feel how the exhale helps spin your spine, pulling your belly, and maybe feel that emptiness. 2 more breaths in twisting chair. Final breath, soften something. And then you're gonna straighten your legs, fold forward. And separate your feet about hip width apart. And let the head and neck release. And if you can reach your hands behind you, interlace your hands and lift your shoulders. If you can't reach your hands, you can hold on to anything. You guys hold a yoga strap or a belt, towel, right? If you're feeling like it creates compression when you try to grab your hands, you may choose to grab something between your hands. Let the head hang, and if it doesn't feel like a release, you guys bend your knees a little bit. Feel more weight bearing on the toes. And allow the head and the neck to release. A few deep full breaths in your forward fold. Final breath. And let the arms drop. Bend your knees a lot. And let's start with the right leg stepping back. Lower the knee to the mat. And a lot of us are going to want to pad that back knee, so you can even just roll over your mat if you need to. And just take your hands on the inside of your front foot and let your hips drop forward and down. So be mindful that your front knee is over your ankle. Try not to let your front knee come farther, not here. Knee over ankle. And if you feel open enough today, you can start to take the arms lower. So you can even use a prop, pillows, blocks, put your forearms down. So find just enough for you. So go as far into the shape as you can, feeling like you can still take deep breaths and you're not adding extra tension or stress. And then wherever you ended up, we're going to be here for 5 more breaths and a hip stretch. So we've done plenty of effort and you guys have done plenty of work. Can you find a way to work less? So you're not pushing and trying to get anywhere. You're not allowing yourself to resist any kind of dropping into gravity. Give in to gravity the best you can. 1 more full breath here. And then we're going to make our way into pigeon. So a deep outer hip stretch. So you guys are here. You're going to walk the front foot across the mat and try to drop your shins somewhat parallel. And then you're going to crawl yourself forward and down and rest your head. So if you're feeling this in your knee joint at all, we're going to do figure 4 stretch instead. So I want you to come out right now and I'm going to give you something else to do. If your hip is nowhere near the floor, you might stick a blanket or a towel or a block or a book underneath that front hip in order to just feel supported. Again, those of you that need a modification, so nothing in the knee joint, you would do this one instead. So we want to feel a deep opening or stretch in the outer left hip. And you guys, we're going to be here for 10 or so breaths. Lengthen and deepen your breath. So again, as we get to the floor and do more restful poses, what tends to creep in is the mind, right? When we're not thinking about alignment as much and we're not having to effort to hold our balance as much, the mind creeps in and interrupts, because that's what it does. So can you let your awareness and your attention come back? Steady attention on the breathing. Feel the fullness and depth in the inhales. And a sense of releasing tension with your exhales. And notice if you're over-efforting. Notice if you're trying to push and get deeper into the shape, and see if you can let that go. And notice if you're resisting. So often there's sensation in these shapes that aren't necessarily comfortable for some of us. So notice if the body's actually unconsciously tensing or gripping somewhere to resist the sensation. And see if you can let that go. So this practice, this art of letting go, the exhales are helpful. There's 2 more deep breaths in your hip stretch. And then take another deep, full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And so we're gonna come on up, which can be challenging. So those of us in pigeon, you're going to use the arms, kind of press yourself up. And if you can make your way into a downward dog between sides, it feels good. If it feels like too much effort, forget about it. So get to a downward dog if that's doable. Feel a symmetry here. Feel a few deep, full breaths here. And then when you're ready, right leg will come forward. So the other leg comes forward, drop the back knee. And you want to wiggle the back knee back. Front knee will be over your ankle if you can. And hands will come on the inside of the front foot. And this side may be very different than the other. Just let it be what it is. So try not to effort and push and shove, and also try not to resist. Find this idea of letting go. Use the breath. But if you can go deeper, feel free to come down onto your forearms. Long, deep, smooth, rhythmic breaths. In and out your nose. And then moving into your outer hip stretch. So the one in the forward fold is called pigeon. No idea why, but that's what it's called. So you walk that front foot across the front of the mat, and your shin is going to parallel, and you're going to crawl yourself forward. Again, if this bothers your knee, you guys just lie on your back, do the figure 4 stretch. Try to rest the head. So if your head doesn't hit the floor, you might choose to stack your forearms and rest your head on your forearms. Or you can get creative and find any other prop. And then once you get into the shape, whatever shape you feel that right hip stretching and opening, lengthen and deepen your breath and give in to gravity. How much can you let go of right now? So you guys, Buddha says all human suffering comes from wanting the moment to be different than it is. So can you surrender to this moment? Can you surrender to your right hip without trying to push and shove and make it any more flexible than it is? Without labeling and judging it as bad or not flexible enough? Can you just allow yourself to be in your right hip, feeling whatever it is there is to feel, without resistance? Last few breaths. And then if you're not already on your back, you guys, we're just going to swing our leg around and everybody's going to make their way onto their back. And hug your 2 knees into your chest and feel the support of the earth underneath you. Take your arms wide apart and let both knees drop to the right. Head can turn in the opposite direction and just allow the spine to unwind. So once again, not efforting, not resisting, just letting go. Feel the spine unwind, feel some space in the side body and waist. Notice when the mind wanders, bring it back to the next breath. And then when you're ready, second side. Gently let the knees drop the other way. And turn the head away from the knees. And again, just give in to gravity. Let the spine unwind. Not pushing, not resisting. Just feel the space that comes from being in the shape. And then when you're ready, gently come back to center. And hug your knees into your chest one final time. And we're going to finish in final rest position. So you guys are just going to spread out on your mat. It's a little chilly. If you want to grab a blanket or a jacket, feel free. And just take a moment and get your body comfortable. Let your legs kind of flop open. If you have any pain or discomfort in the lower back, you can put something underneath your knees. Take your arms wide, your palms opened. And then once your body is settled and supported, take a final deep full breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. And let go of all efforts, including the breath. And just allow yourself to rest here, no effort, for a minute or so in Shavasana. And keeping your eyes closed and staying relaxed. Just let your next breath be a little more deep and full. And sigh it out. And then gently make your way onto one side. Hug your knees into your chest, pause for a moment. And then gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Again, if you need to sit on something, a blanket or a towel or a pillow, feel free. We won't be here long. And just pause for a moment, notice how you feel. And then gently take your hands together at your heart and bow your head towards your heart. And you guys internally thank yourself for your effort. All the benefit of the yoga practice comes from the effort you put in. May all beings everywhere know love and peace. Namaste.
Thank you, guys.